We are just days away from a deadline impacting thousands of Liberians. They face possible deportation without an extension of a policy known as Deferred Enforced Departure, or DED. The Northwest Suburbs has the largest Liberian population in the country, and many DED holders have been in this country for more than 20 years, many who now have children and work in the community.
Liberians came here because of the Civil War. Some of the people grew up here. Some of the people have lived here all their lives.
Imam Mohammed Dugley presides over a mosque in Brooklyn Center. He and other Liberian leaders have been in Washington, D.C. and at the state capitol, pleading their case to have the immigration policy extended. Last year, President Trump ended the immigration action because he says the situation in the West African country is now stable, but Liberian leaders disagree. They say if Liberian refugees are sent back to their homeland, it would have harmful effects.
So that we cannot separate our kids, our daughters, and going to school, and then they will have no families over them. So what become of these kids? Government will take care of them? Why you want to overburden?
The number of Liberians impacted by DED status is uncertain. Some say there's about 4,000 DED holders in Minnesota. Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center lawmakers have issued proclamations of support for Liberians, even though it is a federal issue. A Brooklyn Park woman is charged with 2 felony counts of animal cruelty. According to the criminal complaint, Hennepin County Sheriff's deputies went last month to a home on the 8500 block of Vickers Lane occupied by Alyssa Lilja. They went there not to arrest her, but to arrest 2 others with outstanding felony warrants. Deputies found 2 extremely malnourished Labrador retrievers, one of which had died. They then came across a room overrun by dog feces and urine. Lilja allegedly told authorities she had run out of dog food, but later acknowledged they had not been fed for several days. The home was later condemned by the city of Brooklyn Park. The city of New Hope approved contracts this week to begin construction for a new outdoor pool. Demolition will start with tearing down the Civic Center park shelter, the outdoor theater, and the hockey rink. Phase 2 of the demolition will include tearing down the city hall and police station, which will happen once the city moves into its new facility this summer. The New Hope pool will be an Olympic-sized 50-meter version similar to the old one, but will include other water features such as water slides and a lazy river. The city also awarded contracts to construct a new outdoor theater and a skate park. Our standout student is a true academic scholar. Teachers say he enjoys learning things just for the sheer joy of the knowledge. Neil Persley takes us to West Lutheran High School in Plymouth to meet Jacob Barnett, today's standout student.
For this aspiring mechanical engineer,
I really like numbers and like calculus. They've always intrigued me.
Yes, he definitely loves math class a lot and just learning math and doing tons of things with it. So he's done a lot of exploration on his own, and last year he actually took 2 online classes that were PSEO, so he's already knocked out a bunch of college credit too.
But Jacob Barnett's love of mathematics is just one passion of this multi-dimensional student.
Although I do like languages too.
So what language would you imagine he would take?
I'm taking Greek, and that's my favorite class.
Jacob already has 3 years of Latin and has also studied French.
I want to study the Bible, theology and stuff, and I think that's a really good place to start, especially since since I like languages so much.
Lest you think Jacob's nose is always buried in a book, Jacob is an accomplished musician, playing in both band and singing in choir. But wait, there's more.
I got involved in theater here right away. For the first show that was available to me as a freshman, and so I've really enjoyed being in all the theater productions.
Lisa Denninger is directing this year's musical Bye Bye Birdie, in which Jacob is playing the lead role.
I've watched his progress over many, many shows here, and last year he had the opportunity to play a classic role in Midsummer Night's Dream, and so Perhaps the greatest joy in working with a student like Jacob is to watch that development over the course of time.
Jacob's math teacher described him as
one who just has such a passion for knowledge and maybe things that are a little bit more impractical or archaic too, just for the joy of exploring them and learning about them.
From West Lutheran High School in Plymouth, Neil Persley, CCX News.
Jacob is looking forward to majoring in mechanical engineering at Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia, where he already has a full 4-year scholarship. With summer parade season just around the corner, Brooklyn Park is now accepting applications for its ambassador program.
We represent the city of Brooklyn Park for an entire year. We learn about our city's history, what's going on presently in our city, and we also are looking for what are the goals for our city's future and how can we help attain those goals.
This year there is also a revival of the Junior Ambassadors program.
Super excited because we are bringing back our juniors program. We are looking for boys and girls between the ages of 6 and 10 to go out and represent our community with the older girls.
The deadline to apply is Wednesday, April 17th. You can find more information on the Brooklyn Park website and the Brooklyn Park Ambassadors Facebook page. Well, Wednesday was a rather warm one. In fact, it was the warmest day in more than 5 months. Not since October have we reached 60 degrees. Enjoy it because there is a gradual cooling trend over the next several days. Here's a glimpse of what today looked like.
One of our area's coaching legends and one of his former players are part of the second class inducted into the Minnesota Basketball Hall of Fame. Hopkins boys basketball coach Ken Novak Jr. was inducted Tuesday into the Hall of Fame. Novak won his 8th state title Saturday with his Royals in his 30 years as their head coach. He's led Hopkins to 16 state tournament appearances. Novak also coached Blaine to a state tournament in 1987. Former Hopkins and Gopher star Chris Humphreys is also part of the new Hall of Fame class. Some of the top boys basketball players from the class of 2019 are set to play in the Coaches Association All-Star Series this weekend. Several standouts from the Northwest Suburbs will be playing. 2 players from state tournament entrant Park Center will play. Tommy Chapman averaged 13 points per game for the Pirates and hit a game winner in the Class 4A third-place game. Kahari Broadway scored 19 points in the Pirates state tournament win over Maple Grove. Benedetto of Champlin Park averaged 17 points and 4.5 assists for the Section 5 4A runner-up Rebels. And Jared Rainey averaged 13 points, 5.5 assists, and 5 rebounds per game in helping lead Maple Grove to its 4th consecutive state tournament. Here's a full list of the local players scheduled to compete. Park Center's Broadway and Chapman are on different teams. Rainey of Maple Grove is on the blue team, while the maroon squad features 3 players from the area: Otto of Champlin Park, David Roddy of Breck, and Jalen Deering of Hopkins. Once again, this series takes place over 2 days on 2 different college courts. Friday at St. Cloud State's Hollenbeck Hall, blue meets green at 7 p.m., followed by maroon versus gold at 8:30. Saturday's games are afternoon contests at the Leonard Center at McAllister College in St. Paul. There will be a halftime 3-point shooting contest each day, and the McDonald Award will be presented between games on Saturday. The warmer weather has everyone thinking of spring. Maple Grove should have one of the better high school softball teams around. The Crimson are excited for what they hope will be an extended playoff run.
Despite winning 17 games last season, it was a tough finish for Maple Grove softball. The Crimson lost to both Rogers and Centennial in section play and fell short of reaching the state tournament for the 8th time in school history.
My sophomore year, we went to state, and then last year we didn't make it. And we kind of have the same group that went to state sophomore year, so we're all pretty excited to get back. We've all had a taste for it, and we want to get back there.
They were disappointed last year in how we finished there in the sections, and especially with Centennial and Champlin. We had beaten both those teams during the regular season. They end up in the section final. So I think it's kind of been driving them to get better, to get back to playing where they think we should have been last year.
Maple Grove returned 7 players who started regularly last season, including 2-year Crimson starting pitcher Ava Dueck. second baseman Jade Tomaszek, and first baseman Ellie Hossman to name 3. There's some good young talent too, but having a veteran returning core helps.
Oh, it helps a lot because we all know what to expect and we all know what we want. And so we can just come together and help the younger girls out.
With fields not ready for play yet, the Crimson spend time both in the gym and at the Maple Grove Dome to get back into a regular practice routine and simulate some game situations.
It's really nice to have the dome space as far as just like basic mechanics goes and just feeling the ball on the ground. It's definitely different from dirt, especially with pitching and fielding. But other than that, it's really nice to have a place to hit and to like actually see the ball in the air.
And everything from infield fly balls we did yesterday and here to cuts with the outfielders gives us a lot more space to do a lot of things we want to do.
The Crimson open the season next Thursday, April 4th in the Maple Grove Dome. That's all for sports. More news in a moment.